Sure. Hey, so funny story. A lot of guys that do other circuit board work ask what all these yellow jumpers are for. This is just heat sink compound that when they press the board down on it, it oozes through all the via holes. We're gonna clone something. We're gonna do everything. We're gonna tear it apart and everything because this is what I got. So I got these were just dropped off from a local shop. Unfortunately, oh, better remove the post-it note with their name and stuff. Someone's gonna go back. Oh, good. Yeah, sorry, you got to hear my chair squeak too. Hey, Ira. So we got a pretty simple one. This would actually be simpler with a different tool, but I've got HexProg. The link is in the description to buy it from Mike. Yeah, 95320. That's what's in here. It's a GPEC 3. It's a 14. I got to pull the post-it note I just pulled off that has the customer's information. Yeah, 14 Jeep Cherokee. I don't know what's. So here's what we heard. Here's the story. Here's the story that we got. So apparently, drivetrain control module went bad in this car. The customer was, it's a shop, was making an attempt to clean it. Had a bunch of corrosion in the connector. Used a wire brush on the connector, but they did that while the battery was hooked up still. So he said he fried the PCM. I don't know if what's wrong with this internally or whatever, and this is live, so it might totally be a flop too, because especially if I get in here and who knows what we find. But what I know is that we have one marked bad, one marked good. He put post-it notes too. That's fine with me. So, so the other tool I said to process easier is PCM Flash. PCM Flash, I wouldn't have to tear these open. So you guys get to laugh at me while I pry these open on camera. So we'll start with the bad one. That way, if I screw it up horribly, then I didn't damage the good module. So put it there. I am going to move to the white table over there that's Zach's anyways eventually. So you guys can't see through the table, so it won't be a problem. Oh, focus. Anyways. Well, I can see your comments, though. Yeah. I bet there's a bunch of glue on these, too, if I remember right. I think I've only done a couple GPEC 3s. So we're going to grab all the wrong tools and do this. So Sal asked if it's the same part number small tag. That is actually a great question. So it is, and I'm going to show you. I'm glad you brought that up, because now I can bring up what we're looking at here. This, I'm going to do bad one on top. So this number here is the hardware part number, 051508843 Alpha Bravo. That is the hardware of this PCM. It probably fits a plethora of vehicles. A matter of fact, I will show you how we checked that real quick. So I think if we go to this one, yep, perfect. You guys can see. So we're going to go to kb.fcaytech.com. We're going to type in J2534. Ability. Go Control F. Type in this number. 0515 0843 Alpha Bravo. Okay, so that's what is in this. That's what the hardware number is. And if you look up here, it says it fits 84 vehicles. So it fits this 14 KL 2.4. Hey, Oz. And so all of these cars that we go down and we look, this left-hand side column tells us what vehicle it fits. Right hand shows us all the part numbers. So you'll notice this one has a 0515 number, and then it goes to a 681. The 681 is what car this one is specifically. You'll notice this number here, very similar to the number that's on this sticker. So this sticker, there's a 682424443. So if we look at that, we go back here, and we type that number in. So basically, this module that's on the desk will fit 84 different vehicles. But this particular module, if we put in the part number from the software update sticker, we put 682424444 3 alpha alpha. So that fits one single car. That fits a 2014 KL, which is a Cherokee, 2.4 liter, A9 all-wheel drive with AGS, 50 state legal. Oh, KL's Liberty. Interesting. That's the bad one? I thought he said this was a Cherokee. Oh well, I don't care. The software in them is different. That's funny. Oh, I'm glad you pointed that out, Sal. I didn't even look. So I'm going to have to do a couple things here. I'm going to have to both move the immobilizer and VIN data over, which the VIN's easy to change, but I'm going to have to move the immobilizer data over, and then I'm going to have to do a flash to change the software, because the software number in this one, in this particular car, is this. That's the bad one. That's the original one. So if you look, supposedly this is the original. Go ahead. Oh, you know what? Let's save this. This turned into way more than what we said. No, Eddie, they would not be the same. So you'd have to go back and watch this video and follow how to do it to figure out which vehicle it fit. Copy. Go here. We're going to type in Notepad. I want you guys to see that the original vehicle says that it's that, at least according to what the customer labeled this module. And then we go back to this module, the donor. The number on it is different. Yeah, what Sal said, a Journey would be a GPEC 2. You notice this one's got green and blue, yours will be tan and brown. So this one, oh, using the wrong mouse here. So if we type in what's in this one, the donor module that he provided, which is the same hardware. So I'm going to have to flash the software inside. 6824244. 1 alpha alpha instead of 3. So this particular car. So the donor module's from a front-wheel drive car. If we look at the two descriptions, so the donor engine control module is from a front-wheel drive car. This is an all-wheel drive car. So these two modules won't interchange directly. So what I'm about to show you that I'm going to do will actually clone them over. Like I could do this with, I wouldn't put it up. I could do this with the $80 Mini Pro and move the immobilizer and the data from the 95320 chip that Sal was talking about earlier. If I just copy the 95320 data over, the VIN and the immobilizer data would go. This car would probably start, run, and drive, but it would have faults set for the all-wheel drive system, or for the front-wheel drive system, because the module would be for a front-wheel drive. But the process I'm about to use with HexProg is actually going to pull all of the data, so the flash and everything. So I was wrong. I'm not going to have to do anything. Sal, you messed up my thought process. I could use Flex. I could use, God, there's so many. Yeah, Jeff's in here too. So he's 2 hours south right now. Anyways, so here we are. So what we're going to do is you're going to watch me struggle and fight like a fat kid trying to get into a duct tape pancake. I don't know. Fat kid trying to get into something. 'Cause that's what I am. So I'm going to, you guys get to watch me struggle and pull this apart. This is not the tool for this. I just really like this thing for these. It grabs them really well. So I'm just bending these little tabs up. I by no means am saying anyone should do this or that this is the right way. There are better tools than what I'm using for everything that I'm using. I just don't care. I'm a typical technician. I will struggle for 45 minutes to use a pocket screwdriver when I could walk over to my toolbox or just buy the right tool and get done in 3 minutes. So, typical technician. On it while looking through 32, ECU here can do it. Yeah, I agree, JC, but I will not support that company. Won't even repeat their name. Not with one of their representatives doing and saying what he's doing. Like I said, you guys can laugh here in a second as you watch me decide which angle to poke into this at. This is the suspected bad module. Again, I didn't diagnose this. I don't have a clue. And this isn't really like, hey, this is the best tool for this or anything. It's just literally, this is on my desk. This is the next job to do. PCM Flash would do this faster, but in an effort to not tell you guys you got to buy every tool that's out there, I just thought I'd use the one I've been using lately for a lot of stuff. I made that video for Eric, doing that module for Eric, and a lot of people watched it. And you know, every time I turn around, if I make a new video where I'm like, you have to buy this other tool now, people get upset. I got these. These are cool. These help. No worries, Eddie. PCM Flash does not open the case as well. It does, JC. See, you guys like that? See that? Here's what I'm going to do. I will put a link in the description to these as well. Again, cheap Amazon tool. I got a pair of them. If you would use CDA and change the software, yeah, it sure does. But CDA, it's a crime to own CDA. If you have CDA, you acquired it by nefarious means, or paid someone that acquired it by nefarious means. So why would I support that or show that? This is a tool that you can. This other tool I can show and no one will be upset. No one's offended. Chrysler isn't calling me, freaking out. I do everything I can to not use. Look, guys, there's thousands of softwares available. Yeah, GM DPS exists. There's all kinds of stuff you can do. But the last thing that I need to do is draw attention to myself by using some software that's illegal to have and own. And so why? I'd rather just say, nope, sorry. I'll let somebody else get in trouble for it, not me. There we go. So we're in it. I think we're actually going to connect like right in here somewhere. And I will make that easier to see for you guys here shortly. Yeah, CDA is Chrysler's diagnostic application software. That is an engineering level software that is licensed to certain companies to only a couple companies outside of Chrysler Corporation. And it is in fact a crime to purchase it, probably to own it. Guaranteed it's at least a violation of their end user license agreement. So just why? That's like, yeah, I could totally there's a lot of things you could do in life if you broke the law, but who cares, right? I'd rather just do all the stuff on the up and up, and I don't have to worry about it. I never have to be under any weird scrutiny. So here's what we're going to do. When you go over here, so we're going to go ahead and close that out, minimize that too. I did look it up, make sure that because HexProg keeps adding stuff where you don't have to open as much stuff. So we're going to open up GPEC 3. But we do. It's boot only, so we had to open this. Then it's set to internal flash. We'll go to the wiring page. Shows a connection to the module. So I'm going to have to solder. Got to solder onto this side, and then I'll have to connect pins to this side to power and ground it. So again, this is our suspected bad module. That's apparently, I marked them OG. So this is the OG. Sorry, this is what I was looking at. Reading here, seeing that I need connectors. I need power and ground connectors for HexProg. I need port B connectors. A connectors for the front side. My B connectors there. B, I believe. B connectors. And the signals GPEC board is shown. Signal the purple wire. don't think it's C. I thought it was this one. I'm 99% positive it's not C, that it's a D connector. Yeah, just it is right blocked. I'm like 99% positive that it uses this cable. Sal, if this had the right software in it, yes. Sal asked if it would be easier to just pull the EEPROM, which honestly is right. I think it's right here. I'd have to look closer under the microscope, which I'll pull up here in just a second. Pretty sure this is the EEPROM. Here, we'll just. Anyways, I'm not going to go rabbit trail off. So yes, if I just needed to move VIN and immobilizer data, I would totally just grab the EEPROM off this board. I probably would just read it. I wouldn't even pull it off. I would just read it right on the board and then flash the file into the donor module. But because the flash is wrong too, I'm going to go ahead and just pull the whole thing. Honestly, this probably is misdiagnosed and doesn't even need this done, so we'll just see what happens. But what I was looking at was on the software, you'll see that it shows I need to use port A for power and my grounds, right? And then port B on the tool for CAN high and low. And then internal wiring, it says to connect signal 1, purple one, there. Problem is, I just don't remember, like, if it's the purple wire on here, which I'm pretty sure it's on here. Pretty sure it's on connector D. But anyways, we'll just hook it up. Let me move this to the microscope so you can see that happen. Turn on some soldering iron action. We'll move this. A little gross. Sure. Hey, so funny story. A lot of guys that do other circuit board work ask what all these yellow jumpers are for. This is just heat sink compound that when they press the board down on it, it oozes through all the via holes. That's there. I believe right there is where I need to connect. Which, let me grab a pointy device. So according to the computer, the signal wire is right there, which in this case, I believe is right there. Now some of that conformal coating there. My alcohol spray at. I don't know. Some of this junk out of the way. Ew. All right, there we go. He's not heated up yet. What's all the crushed top ramen doing? I love it, JC. That's what I'm talking about. It's funny, like, if you go back and watch that video I did with Eric, go back and watch that video I did with Eric, there was a bunch, like, there was like 20 or 30 comments of people asking that. Sorry, guys, I hear Zach in the background going, Jesus, because the phone's ringing off the hook, and I hand it to him so I can play here on the internet. Hello? I think it's warm yet. I just turned it on, so not bad. Chip's about wore out too, isn't it? You can clone the eeprom and then program the PCM with the correct. Yeah, I could. It's Kreider. Kreider's got the phone. And they're freaking out. See that? See it melting. Yeah. The tip's almost hot enough. We'll put a big old blob of solder on there to help us out. Wow. Easy, big boy. Hey, hey, none of that solder bridge crap. Put a little hoopty on there. And for those of you that are wondering, this is where we're at. This is how small what we're working on. There we go. Put a little flux in there. ABC too expensive solder station? Nah, I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I do fine with this. So I know, like I said, I'm a typical technician. There's a million things that would be better to do this. Which hands go lefty here? Means I'll be super unsteady. Got the left hand shakes, baby. There we go. All right. So, no, Jeff, not one of your. Oh, signed agreement? No. Small solder gun that heats up in 3 seconds. Yeah, I've got a little USB one, 5-volt USB one that works really great too. I had this out. Cool. So, all right. We're back here on the desk. There. Go ahead and flip that module over. Go back to this document. Go here. It's funny, it shows gray and let me look here. I think J. Well, hopefully they're labeling it just like that. How they show it on the board here. Okay, so we'll take connect A. We will go black. I mean red. And we'll put a ground right next to it. That's what it says to do. We're about to find out. So we're just hooking it up like this, like it shows right here. With the power, ground, power, can high, can low. Then if we look at that, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's the 9th pin from the bottom, 1057. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Versus HexProg 2 versus Fox Flash. Well, I've never heard of Fox Flash, so I'm going to go with HexProg 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Tell me about Fox Flash. Oh, move that out of the way. You guys couldn't see anything that entire time. Move that out the way. Thanks, Sal, though. The microscope's Amscope SM-4 NTP, I think. Should be in the description. We have it hooked up like that. So now we're going to click back over to the software. Click here. Click read. We'll see if I'm hooked up right. Again, I might be on the wrong. I might not be supposed to be using the D connector. Maybe C. I'm not sure. I mean, it hasn't errored yet, so I don't know what that means. Hello? Typically it starts reading by now. I could have tried the external EEPROM, it would have read that faster. Huh? Saw a little mouse movement. Failed to unlock chipset. Nice. Okay. So flip her back over. You know what's funny is it's possible that this module is nuked also. If what he said happened actually happened, like, I didn't really look at this board yet. I'm looking now. But I don't see like a big obvious nuked spot, like a capacitor or anything. I mean, I'm looking. So, you know, I'm trying again. Other thing is it says signal 1, which might actually be this purple wire. Failed to unlock. So, failed to do. So let's try to, let's connect this NC to it. Looks like that'll be safe. Turn that over. Pull this back out. I'm gonna hide my face. Gotta move this around a hair. Back to see that. We'll pull this one off. Should have done like other people do and did this first and then refilm it later, right? Something about, oh, I'd read Usman the Mechanic. Nice. This look like here. Hey, put something in the chat, guys, if you're still there. If I'm not just here talking to myself. Anyways, carrying on. So we'll get the other, we'll change over to the other connector, connector C. Get the purple wire. You're here. Okay, thanks, Sal. Starting to worry. Probably want to see this. All right. So we're hooked up with this other one. Looking to agree. Ah, dang it! I should have selected external EEPROM. I would have figured it out faster. We're just waiting. Francisco says present. Present. Getting the feeling it's going to fail again, which means this module might have a problem. So we may have to go the oh, there we go. All right, ladies and gents, that means that it's section the C connectors, what you mean. Usman says, hey KP, you do in-person training? Absolutely. Matter of fact, I just posted yesterday on the events page at l1training.com all the events we're going to be at and we're having. We just announced a programming class for here. Now, it does not cover this stuff. This is not the same as what we do in our normal programming class. We're working on a advanced level programming class that does cover that. Let me matter of fact, while we're here's what we're waiting on. While we're waiting on that to go, which it's going to take a few minutes to go through all the sectors. Let's go to the best website in the world, l1training.com. Apparently I have caps lock on. Go to the events tab. I'll be at SEMA the 31st, teaching keys and immobilizer between 9:30 and 11. The Venetian, at level 1, rooms 403, 404. I'll be there the following day in that room doing the analytic test drive. We'll be there room 407 doing domestic Asian programming part 1, just a 2-hour short version. Then part 2, again, 2-hour short version on the 2nd. Then on the 10th and 11th November, Liz and I will both be at Super Saturday. I'll do keys and immobilizer on the 10th from 1 to 5. 11th, 1:30 to 5:30. We're going to do our ADOS class. First time it's ever been presented to anybody. That's going to be the successful calibration troubleshooting class. And then January 27th, 28th, we're doing live hands-on programming. Now, got to reiterate, it is not this type of programming. It is J2534 OBD2 programming. I am writing a class like this, but I want to work in conjunction with Mike Christofferson. So we talked about this earlier about here at the shop about me just kind of like starting a live stream throughout the day of the jobs I do. It's a mixed bag. Like today is a bunch of modules, and tomorrow will be a bunch of diags out in the shop. So again, not the best tool to do this. It's just a tool that I chose. Whether you like it or not, it's what I'm using. Now this is the donor. This is the one we're going to put this entire flash file into. And we're at 27%. So basically I pried all those open. If I added heat, this would probably work better. But I'm fine with this. I don't care. So got to pick a corner. Kind of get underneath it, which is the hardest part. Once you get underneath it, it's kind of like pretty easy from there. There's somebody right now yelling at their screen because I'm using like all of the wrong tools. And I'm okay with that. That's these here. Get a little more. Little more. There we go. Now this will work just fine. It's so violent. Good morning. Yeah, no problem, Kirk. WJ pull the LC, mem chip, read data, dealer supply. I'm gonna grab this. No, I'm not. I missed it. So, now that we got that one open, we can just kind of wait. Because we're just waiting on it to read the flash. All those noises are the shop getting super busy right now. People driving in, driving out, all that fun stuff. Let's see here. Oh, fun. Can't read that comment. Give me a second. I got to move this over. Do I work for Eric O and Ivan? So I haven't done anything for Ivan. Ivan hasn't asked me to do anything for him. Hung out with Ivan over at ASTE. I hung out with him at STS a couple times. We've hung out a couple times. I talk to Eric all the time. I have done probably, I don't know, like 4 for Eric. A couple, pretty good amount of, mostly all Hyundais and Kias, VIN changes, just because of what he runs into up there. Done a Nissan, a couple Nissans, I think. How do I pronounce your name? Is it Kiefer? Kiefer? Steve's an easy one. A fun story. Steve is my first name. Yeah, mobile automotive diagnostics. I could have used PCM flash too. It's right inside the office there. Kiefer. Okay. No problem, guys. It's only like 50 guys. You guys are gonna have to like watch me answer the phone too, because we're at 49%. Wow. Okay, never mind. He got it. This is the weird part about doing live stuff, guys. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with my face right now or with my hands. What other questions you guys got? Kind of like a ask me anything while we're watching a loading bar. Twiddle thumbs, right? How's D-Tech doing? You know, it's really terrible. I'm really terrible with names. So, D-Tech Engineering, I can see your face and your wife's face, and I just cannot remember your name, and I'm sorry. And I just hung out with you over ASTE. We were just talking. Got another computer around? Always. I always have. You know what's funny is I just grabbed. I recommend to clone a BMW DME 45.1. I don't know. I'd have to look at what tools I have. John. I would just like open up a couple of my tools and look and see which one, if one of them offers like a option to do it without opening it, which typically, like I would have used PCM Flash to do this, but doing the last couple of videos I've been doing, I've had a ton of comments about, hey, can you show us how to open them? Can you show us, what if I don't have that tool? So I'm just going to use the hard tools and do them, I guess, at this point. Yeah, if you want to hang on a second, I'll go grab it. I'll go grab a couple of the tools and we'll talk about them. Because this is where we're at right now. Get nuts? Okay, I'm back. I said, yeah, that's nuts earlier, and I forgot I had my mic on because Zach was asking me about the transport company that was showing up. Okay, so the $80 tool is the old Mini Pro. I think they call it like a TL866 2 or II. The new one they have now is the T56, which I think is like 170 bucks or something. But if you can find a Mini Pro, they work well. I use it for most any 8-lit. Like if I was going to read the 95-320 and then just copy it, I would just use this. Matter of fact, like cable's being used, otherwise I would do it. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with the transport company, man. What? I just told Philip what's going on. Like, oh, that's where you so crazy stuff. Of course, I do this. I was like, hey, we're kind of slow today, so I'll do this live stream. And of course, yeah. When are we getting new classes on the website? So funny thing. Nick, there's already quite a few. I haven't been sending emails out when I post new videos. So, but real quick, let me finish my thought on this, and then so I don't have my other. I don't want to mess with hooking up another EEPROM reader up to this laptop while I'm using it to read this one on HexProg. But yeah, I would just use this to read like a 95-320. It reads almost all of them. It doesn't do like the Toyota's in circuit. I would definitely use AR32, a much better tool, but I don't have an AR32 just because I get away with this. So, you know, typical technician fashion, I'll try 10 times harder to use the wrong tool or a cheaper tool than I will to just spend the extra and buy the right tool. Anyways, so let me, also other stuff I use all the times, IO terminal, VVDI prog, MB-CAN for a lot of Mitsubishi stuff, or not Mitsubishi, Mercedes. Set these over here out of the way. So, because it's almost done. It's almost done loading. Aldi said, I had a 2021 6.2 or 6.4 Challenger with a lost PCM. Any solution for that? A used PCM, no EEPROM to copy over to a used one. So if you could get a hold of a file of a brand new one, a quote-unquote virgin file, you could have flashed that into it. There are tools out there that will do that as well. But with this method I'm using here and the tool I'm using here, no, unless you had a virgin file. So this is almost done. Okay. Cool. Okay, so this is finished. So let's go to, this is a new laptop, so I don't have very many dumps on here yet, so I probably have to make a folder for this. Jeep 3. That's the last one I did on this computer. So this one's going to be, I don't even remember what that one was for. I didn't even label it right. Open a beer and drink free. No thanks, not right now. So what we'll do is we'll save this as /OG. Save. Then we will move this stuff over to the donor. We're going to read it and then flash it, because we always save both. So how do I plan on handling the issue with the EEPROM not being properly written using HexProg? It's not an issue with the GPEC 3 on HexProg, at least not anymore, not since the 2 versions ago. see. Oh, I missed something. Any knowledge on GWK and changing parameters in the computer and building a raw color out of it needs to stable. I don't touch anything aftermarket. I just don't even. It's not worth my time. That's a whole different career of changing stuff like that. I just don't mess with it. I missed something. E48. I don't, Kiefer. I just don't mess with it. It's a whole different world. Let me look here. Now we're going to pull this off of here. I know I'm kind of covering up for you guys. I'm sorry. Just easier this way. I need to put a little solder on there. Here. Let's do this. Where'd my solder go? There it goes. All right. Put a little on there. Wow. All that ramen that's in the way. Go. Like always, like I said, there's a million ways to do this, a million ways to skin a cat, and I just choose to use this tooling specifically. Back away. Flip this bad mamma jamma over. Flip this one over. We'll just move them. These ones go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. At least I think my memory serves me correct that that's it. We'll check it again here in a second. Matter of fact, I'll just bring it up for you guys so you can just click wiring. And that's what we're doing, moving them to there. There, and then put one of them there. What I need to do, I need to take this camera and make it more like overhead. What do you guys think about that? Yeah, Alpha OBD does do some of that stuff. You said WK, I don't know how far back Alpha OBD goes. The only thing I've ever used it for is a couple newer things, just experimenting with it. It's one of those things where I end up spending so much time just doing the jobs that are here that come in. I don't have as much time to go and look at all the rest of the stuff and mess with it. And that's why I don't mess with the aftermarket stuff. Like, I'm busy enough just fixing cars, let alone helping modify them. So we'll leave this way. We'll go back to here. We'll go ahead and just read this external EEPROM first on this one. Show you that it's much faster to read the external EEPROM if I didn't have to move the whole flash. But since I have to move the whole flash, it is what it is. As you can see, it's much faster just to read the external EEPROM. I'll just save this one. Donor. Oh, whoops. but realistically, we need to read the internal flash. But at least I know I got it hooked up right. Stack 3 says, oh, we just finished. So we're going to write this one as flash donor. We're going to save that. And since this is our donor, we're going to write the flash from the OG to it. We selected the OG for the checksum, correct? So Zach says the PCM can be one of 3 hardware types. My only thought is if you get a PCM with the same hardware type, it should be able to be flashed with IDS and parameter reset. The issue is PATs. I always end up with a flagship 1 PCM with spray paint and crappy sticker tag. No way to tell if it's the correct hardware type. Like, I don't think there'd be any problem doing a used one. But have you had problems with it? I haven't had problems with used ones. Oh shoot, you know what I just realized? I just selected the wrong original file. My bad. The checksum will be messed up on this. I'll have to fix it here in a second. So the PCM can be... Have you had a problem doing a used one, Zach? Hardware type. Right. Raphael says, what would you recommend as a good scanner to start programming keys? Zach just, yep. So I would agree, and I am 508 or 608. If you don't have a good diagnostic tool already, a 608 would be the way to go. I also would make sure you get like a Nitro LT or GT tool, something from Xtool. They do good at the two complementing each other very well. Those program keys will always have a P1260. Yeah, P1260 is Pat's. That's that generic like Pat's key identifier incorrect or whatever. So anyways, what I did wrong there was I always read the original because it's got the original checksum in it. So what you're supposed to do is when it says select original, I click OK. So instead of clicking flash OG, I should have clicked flash donor. So it would use the checksum data out of the original. And anyway, so that's the fix. So like earlier, JK had mentioned how am I going to fix the EEPROM, not writing it correctly. Well, by doing that, and what I just did was the wrong way. So it will probably have a checksum error. So I'm going to correct it here in just a second. I never remember what 1260. It's the number. P1260. Theft detected. Yeah, that's the. So real quick, I got to rewrite this, and I'll show you what I did wrong. Actually, I guess before we do that, we'll fix it first. It says it's completed, so we're going to go right. We're going to write the original file into it. Okay, so so in order to fix it, I would have to rewrite. Let's just hook it up. Let me grab a scan tool, and I gotta go diag right here. Dropping stuff. So we'll just hook to the power ground and then we'll see. We'll hook a scan tool to it and just see what codes are in it. If it's got a checksum error, then I'll show you how we'll fix that. I'll show you what I should have done. Also, the problems with doing it live, right? When you do the job wrong. So I'm putting powers and grounds to it from the Go Diag. Go Diag is not, I repeat, not a good tool to use as a breakout box on network diags. Every one of these Go Diags, and I have 20 of them here, literally, we use them for classes, they have some kind of problem. If I remember right, and high, yellow, yep. Here's how we'll know if I have it hooked up right. Do as we hook up and so it's on. The problem is it's only got one line, so I need to put a 120 ohm resistor in here, draw 6 and 14, and then get a scan tool. So why not use ECU Hero? An individual that represents it did something pretty cruddy, so I won't support that company because the individual that represents it did something that I think was pretty cruddy. So I will just say that. I disagree heavily with someone who represents that company, so because of that, I won't support that company. But let me go snatch up a scan tool real quick, and then we'll see what codes are in this thing. Almost done. Still mic'd up, though. He said, but are you still live? Yes. Chad, you know who that is? We talked about this individual at Vision. Was I supposed to grab something else, or was that good? No, that was, oh, 120 ohm resistor. Crap. 1 second. My audio's, yeah, audio's still good. You guys can hear me. I'm digging through stuff trying to find my 120 ohm resistor pen that I had. Yahtzee. All right. I'm going to put that one in. Now both my lights are flashing because I need a 120 ohm resistor. All right, so we'll go. This is the only scan tool I could find that somebody wasn't really using at the time. Diagnose, auto detect. Reading the VIN. And so if I look at the cover for this VIN, this thing used to end in 1176, but if the VIN's corrected, then the VIN will end in 5912. Yeah, Chad says, thought about modifying his Go Diag breakout box with another rocker switch to enable the terminating resistor, and that'd be good. I just make a terminating resistor in a cable, and I have a couple of them laying around. Just put some banana plugs on them. And then they're open in the back, so I can still connect stuff to the CAN bus whenever I want to. So this says 5912. So that is let me get the original one. All right, so this is the one that says bad. So this is the correct VIN to car. If you look, it says 5912 is the last. That is not going to focus at all for me. Okay, so 5912 is the last of the VIN. Okay, we're going to see if there's a checksum error in here. That's correct, Tool Hut. ECU Hero can do it. But as I stated multiple times, one of the individuals that represents that company has done something that I disagree with extremely, so I will not support that. Did something to me personally and a friend of mine personally, so not going to support that company. The representative of that company is here in the chat right now. So nothing against you, it's just what you did. I won't support your company because of that. It does do this job just as fast as PCM flash though. So we'll go system scan. Pause. Not what I wanted. You guys know John's back there trying to hide from the camera. System selection, PCM. I just want to read codes in the PCM. Read fault codes, DTC info. Bunch of lost comms, open circuits, ASD, lost comm, accelerator pedal, ECU vehicle options mismatch. Yeah, P0610. Okay. Just the one. Do a battery test on both of them, and we'll look at the reports and see if you're comfortable putting one. Oh, okay. Warranty the one out. Yeah, just swap it. Is it a 65 series? Okay. Yeah, just swap it. Oh, yeah. Sal, yes. ECU Hero's token based. And Flex, yeah, I've got Flex. I could have used it too. I've just been using HexProg so much lately. I like the interface, I like the stuff. And plus, everyone was asking about, like in my last couple of videos, everyone asked about prying modules apart. How do you do it? You know, and soldering and all of the things. So this is probably one of the hardest tools to use to do this particular GPEC job. Because like I said, PCM Flash would have just done this basically OBD2. I mean, just right from I wouldn't have had to open it, but I did this so I could So opening it and the soldering and using the tool and going through and yeah, so we can, again, it won't focus, but yeah, the VINs changed. So I'm going to show you now how to correct what I did. So I got to go back and undo, turn off the go diag. We'll switch back to using the connectors on the HexProg. We'll go to so what I have to do is I have to write the original file back that was in this, and then I've got to rewrite the right file, but using the correct checksum from the wrong original, and I'll show you what I mean. So give me a second to flash this back in correctly, and then from there, what I'll do is show you how I fix it. Right, flash donor. Oh, no external power connected. Power back up. I'm basically going to put this one back exactly how it was. This one should give me the checksum error. Our checksum correction requires original file. Do you want to continue? Okay. We're actually going to correct the file from the donor. We're actually going to partially correct it here. So typically, what we should have done in the very beginning is when we selected to write the original file for us, what we call the OG, and when it asked us to correct the checksum and it said use the original, it meant the original to this module. So I should have selected the flash donor. So another channel you guys should go check out, Tool Hut USA, Sam over there, great guy. Sam and I have been YouTube buddies for a while, I feel like anyways. I usually end up seeing him at Vision. We get to hang out there. All right. Squeaky chair. So I left the scan tool hooked up, so we'll see if that 610 goes away. I don't know if the 610 will go away. It's not a checksum error that's in there, but the 610 is a vehicle, 610 is like vehicle options mismatch, and that's probably because it's not talking to the other modules, but we'll see. But earlier, JK brought up that the EEPROM wouldn't be written correctly, and that's what it's talking about, is like 2 updates back, HexProg wouldn't do that correctly. And since they updated that, like it's the other reason why I wanted to use HexProg is I saw an update in there about GPEC 3 EEPROM incorrect. There's a checksum error. So they added this option. I know, right, Angel? Trying to. I plan on doing more of these where I do them live. This one takes a little while because of the flash process. Like this one takes a minute. But I'll do other ones. Like Sunday, we're leaving for Apex SEMA, so I'll be gone. You won't see any live stream. Well, maybe I should live stream from Apex SEMA. If I find some cool stuff at booths, I'll live stream or at least video it. I'm just so bad about that. I'm so bad about videoing when I'm out doing places. I'm not reading it with the try to just talk to it. Sal, are you talking about just talk to it with scan tool without the resistor? It'll probably talk, honestly. I typically don't have a problem with them not talking. There's like only a couple modules. Matter of fact, it actually might be this module is the only one I might have had a problem with, because I have a cable that goes directly on and it goes to the go diag, like, so I don't have to pin it out. I just didn't grab it while I was out in the shop. And I'm pretty sure I wrote on that one that I put a resistor in the connector because I think it had to have it to talk. We're almost done. There we go, completed. All right, so now what we're going to do is what I should have done the first time, and it's not going to ask me because now the checksum is corrected. But so what I should have done is click flash OG to it, and then I don't know if it's going to prompt me or not, but if it prompts me to use the original, which I don't think it will because I already fixed the checksum now. So when it prompted me just now, what I should have done is, like from the very beginning, pretend like I didn't do anything for the last 10 minutes because I messed it up. When I clicked right and I clicked flash OG to flash into this, it would have said, hey, we have to fix the checksum, select the original, and I should have selected the flash donor because the original file that was in this PCM. So matter of fact, while this is flashing, I'm going to go grab that connector that goes on here to make it faster, and we'll just see. It was actually my GPEC 2 connector, and I wrote on there, focus. This one has ignition jumper. Oh, maybe it's GPEC 3. I don't know. This is my GPEC 2 connector. GPEC 3 connector's out. Maybe it's down with Jeff. Jeff, if you're on it. No, you don't have it. You wouldn't have had it. I do not know. I don't know where my GPEC 3 connector is. I lent it out to Bo? I lent it out to Bo. But we'll check in a second. I'll just pull the connector out because I'm going to read it again after we finish this flash, which it's almost done. It's moving along. So here in just a second, what I'll do is I'll move the connector over to the go diag, and then I'll pull the resistor out and we'll try to read it. And if it reads it, cool. If not, I'll put the resistor in and then we'll see. I don't think that P0610. So I talked about, so Zach 3 says, if you're going to go as far as pulling the cover, why not just clone the EEPROM and use Legacy J2534 to shove the correct flash in the controller? It would seem like Legacy would flash faster than HexProg. So, and then he just said what I thought. This might be too new for Legacy. So part of the way through this earlier when you weren't on here, Zach, was I said, I did all this to show, prying it open and but then I said, you know what, to do it the hardest way or the longest way using all the bags of tricks. If you just don't have like PCM flash or something else that will do it, or Flex. I haven't done it with Flex yet, but apparently Flex will do it. Then that's what I would have done. What I should have done in hindsight was read the 95320, clone the 95320, or pull it off the board and put it on the other one, whichever way, it's the same thing. And then use the legacy flash software to change the software. And now Sal says because the software is different. Sal, if you check out on my website, I have a way to change those. Sal, it would change the calibration. So Zach has seen, I have a method, we teach it in our class, in our programming class, it's coming up in January, how to put any software into any hardware, right, wrong, or indifferent. I mean, if you try to put too wrong a software in the wrong hardware, it'll fail and might kill it. But I could have changed this to the 443 from the 441. That's with the legacy software. Alvera Garage says, hello everyone, Hex Pro 1, best software I like. So I like HexProg 2 because the hardware's better, but I do have, it doesn't do the eeprom stuff that HexProg did, or it doesn't have the FRM fix software, so I do still have original HexProg. I use it for doing that stuff. Oh, just so you guys know, it is done. So since it's done and completed, I will click back over, go back to what we were doing where I power off HexProg, put our 12 volt back into our diag. We'll pull the 120 ohm resistor out. We'll move and high. And low, wherever she went. Oh. I definitely have got to move this camera to overhead so you guys can see it. Put the ground on. Power here. Here. Now we set those up according to the wiring diagram that was in HexProg since I had it open. That one. Hey. So we'll go auto detect. I don't know if it'll. It's reading the VIN, is what it's saying. Tilt it this way. And so it can't read the VIN. So if we put in 120 ohm terminating resistor, click skip, okay, go back to auto detect, we'll see if it'll read the VIN now. And it should. Unless I just nuked this thing somehow. Yep, it read the VIN. See, so 120 ohm resistor was required on this one. 16 pin connector. Automatically search. Okay. Going to communicate with them. Trying to communicate with the car. I just have it hooked to the Go diag. Heard some shit clicking. Oh, sorry. Tap the mic. Come on. Finish communicating, you turd. So yeah, 5912 is the last of the VIN. That's correct. So if we go to system selection, PCM, go down all the codes, read fault codes, DTC information, bunch of U codes, ASD relay codes, fuel pump relay codes, 680 ASD relay, PPP, P codes, throttle codes, bunch of open circuit stuff. Yeah, vehicle options mismatch. That's still there. And the reason why that's still there is because we're not hooked to the gateway, or not gateway, the TIPM for it to see all the vehicle configuration options. So we're going to set that there. We're going to turn all this stuff off. We're going to pull all the pins out of it. We're going to move that out of the way. We're going to move the whole Go diag out the way. We're going to shut off the scan tool. No. I got to talk to my lawyer about it and send him a copy and stuff. That's, yeah. And I got to go deposit the check. Oh, this guy that originally said he was going to sue me. Oh, that just came off there. That's nice. I was going to unsolder that. Okay. So now we need to take good used cover, unbend it. So this, we're going to have to put some sealant back on this and stuff. I'm just going to cover this up for now. I'm going to clamp 2 of these. Basically what will happen now is I will send this module back out, be plugged in the car, make sure it's good to go. If it is good to go, then we will take this cover. I'm just putting 2 of these on it. Just these 2 end ears. Nothing gets damaged inside. Basically, send it out with Zach. He'll have a security tag sticker. He will plug it in the car, make sure that my part's done or not. Whether it fixes the car or not, I don't care. But if my part's done, then he's got sealant. He'll seal this up, put a sticker on it, type in security tag sticker in the invoice, and then ship it to the customer. Or, well, charge the customer for it. So we are all done and ready to go, guys. Appreciate everyone hanging out with me. I've got to get going. we'll see you guys next time. Appreciate you hanging out for the live stream. And this will be up on the website. I don't know how long it'll take for YouTube to set it all up. But like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you next time.